There was an invitational medical volunteer informing session in both Gwangju and Busan on June 20th and July 4th. Drawing the interests of nearly 300 medical professionals, the very first medical volunteer informing session had planted a heart within the volunteers to passionately yearn for Africa. Bringing out their courage toward the new world, the medical volunteers appeared at the Incheon International Airport. Despite their difficult preparations and apprehensions of Africa, their high hopes for Africa continued to lead them.
I'm on my way to go to Ghana as a medical volunteer. As a physical therapist, it was very difficult to go overseas to be a medical volunteer at first. I think I am fortunate that I came by such a good opportunity. I am very happy that I can go to Africa, and I will do well and I will return.
Instead of thinking to give many things, I plan to start off with the mindset to learn more.
To empty rather than to fill myself, and to learn something rather than to teach. Such was the mindset of the medical team upon taking off to Africa. Roughly 100 medical volunteer members were scattered throughout Ghana and Togo of West Africa and Kenya and Tanzania of East Africa. After ending a 20-hour to a 40-hour journey, the separated medical teams were greeted with an excited welcome wherever they went. As soon as the preparation was finished, as they hid their timid faces, they were met with a long line of people awaiting them already. In the second medical volunteer service as of this year, there was not only internal and external medicine, but also urology, psychiatry, and even more fields were prepared. Moreover, a surgical operation room was prepared allowing simple surgeries. They were able to provide medical benefits to more people with the help of newly recruited 46 medical volunteers.
We're preparing this ahead of time because once the treatment begins and patients start flooding in, there's no time to prescribe the medicine immediately.
The medical team even visited the poor faraway towns in the midst of their busy schedule. In Newtown, Ghana and Pika Town, Kenya, where they lack everything, they turned on generators for electricity and they began taking patients with the minimum amount of medicine and medical appliances. Every time the medical team met the natives who must have suffered hard times from not being able to receive simple treatments, their faces became stained with commiseration. The traces of love they left behind wherever they went was gradually settling new hopes in Africa. To meet the medical team from afar, the natives did not consider having to wait under the scorching sun to be laborious. A single stroke of hands that stretched from the medical team towards them was hope. To these people who could not financially afford treatments for their illnesses, suffering from heat was trivial compared to this important meeting with the medical teams.
Whole body very weak, bones are broken, and stomach rose, then continue vomiting, and somehow dizzy. Also, tongue very bitter, and not easy to drink water. Eating is also difficult.
The medical team pushed themselves in their best efforts to prevent those waiting in lines from returning home without their treatment. As they spent their 4 days disregarding day from night, they became one, and each of their hearts became overwhelmed with the springing feeling of achievement.
Having a short amount of time today, I really felt a loss for even the time that I used to go to the restroom. Working to treat patients at my best, I felt the joy of being at a place where I'm needed most as a doctor.
In front of lives corroding away by diseases, the medical teams were able to put down their flesh that filled only their own hearts. Because they knew that there were people in faraway countries who would wait for them and greet them, the medical teams obtained unimaginable strength. Seeing the people bring forth bread and plantains despite the scarcity for food to express their gratitude, the medical team's hearts became choked with emotions. Though skin and culture may differ, their eyes revealed that we are all human beings, all the same.
The treatment they are giving is good because it will help a lot of us. Next year it will be good. Even when they do it for the children too, it will be good. The children will come so that they check the children to be very good.
The reason why this African medical service was even more beautiful was all thanks to those who united their hearts together. Especially the members of the Good News Corps who did not mind laboriously translating for the local dialect-speaking patients, and the sponsors from all over Korea who sent helping hands from places unseen had played a great role in the medical volunteer work by allowing antibiotics, painkillers, and other medicine to be purchased. As the short 4 days came to an end, the volunteers returned to Korea. Their bodies may be in Korea, but their hearts are often reminded of Africa.
It was the first time in my life where I had to fill so many prescriptions. Anyways, that's what I remember the most. It was not that hard on me, but if I had worked like that in Korea, my body would be exhausted. Even after returning, really, I felt two things. First was that I should treat my customers better with that same volunteering spirit. And secondly, rather than allowing the effects of fatigue and exhaustion to overcome me, there was also great satisfaction accumulating from doing things that delighted my heart.
I can probably say that I've been touched. There was a man in his 60s. He had a lump on the back of his neck for the past few years. It's called lymphoma. Even my hospital does surgeries for lymphoma pretty often. It's easy to remove after the smallest dose of anesthesia. We got rid of it for him. Then he said, "God bless you," pretty much saying thanks. That was the greatest thing I'd been told in my entire life. Wow, thank God I came here. When would I be told something like that again?
It seems like they were really delighted to see us by the very fact that the doctors came. They felt satisfied with our work. We saw much of the shortcomings in our treatments, but it seems like the patients were satisfied.
As I was volunteering with the dentist, I came to realize how much dentists really do. I felt that I could also help the native people once I became a dentist. It felt greatly rewarding.
There are a lot of things here that I never knew. In hearts, I never felt like there are so many things I can give this community back when I was in Korea.
Looking back at those people who were extremely grateful for a simple pill, the volunteers came to learn of gratitude, the substantial value of the things they took for granted until then, and most importantly, the overwhelming sense of accomplishment. The medical team will reach out with many more people next year to the place where the people await them and need them, to Africa.